Alright, so let's talk about the Excel average function. So the average function computes the geometric mean of a range or ranges. It's just the standard average, the mean, exactly what you're used to. So the syntax is really similar to the sum formula, right? It's just equals average, and then you put your ranges in. So, right, you can do either a single range, like average of A2 to A50. You can do an average of individual cells, or you can do a mix of both. Right, so let's go look at how we do averages here. So here we have our students, and they've taken their 7 quizzes, but we want to see both their average score as well as the average score on each quiz. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So we start typing equals average, and then we select our range, and we hit enter, and we see that the average score for this was 73.9, right? And then we can just click and drag across, and now we see our average score for each of our assignments. And for the most part, they're about the same, but if we look here, we can really quickly see, quiz 6, something happened, right? There's something going on here. This quiz was a lot harder for everybody. So now let's look at finding each individual person's average score, right? This again works the same way. You just get the average for that row, and there we go. So now you've got that individual person's average, and you can double click that, and you can see everybody's average score. And for the most part, everybody's pretty equal, but we can see here, Dale's been struggling, right? He's only at a 37, but now this brings up an interesting question. He's at 37, but what is the average of people's average scores? So we can actually compute that by taking the average of the averages, right? And that tells us what is the average score across all students of their averages, right? And this is just simple averages. So the average score is 71. So clearly Dale needs some help because he's way off from the overall average. Now, I do want to briefly point something out that may not be obvious. All right? If you have a cell, like here we're going to look at Dale on quiz 5, right? If maybe he didn't take that and he just has a blank, I'll show you again. He had a 40 and the average was a 72.3. We remove his score and the average becomes a 74. So the Excel average formula does not count empty cells in the formula. But if you put a value of 0 in, you see it brings the score way down from 74 down to 70. It counts 0 in its average. So it counts 0, but it doesn't count a blank cell. Okay? That's really important to keep in mind as you work on using this formula in the things that you make. Alright? As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.